Hello, everyone, again. So now on parallel track, we have Ben Joseos from Lean Institute Africa, and he's going to be talking about fostering a culture of people development. And here on the main stage, I would like to welcome my good friend Sergei Komberyanov from Lean Institute Ukraine and Oksana Rosputna. I hope I didn't destroy your name. You have the stage. Thank you very much for being with us and have a great session.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roberto. Hi, world. It's a pleasure for Ukraine to present our finest achievements in lean implementation. And one of our biggest achievement is using hoshin kanri in Ukraine. In previous years, we were using some simple instruments, but for the past couple of years, we decided that we should implement hoshin with our companies that can help us to survive the hardest times for our country and for our companies. And I'm so happy to present you the case of company Uklon. And Oksana, please share your knowledge, share your experience, how it was. Please share with all the difficulties and the problems and achievements. We hope to be helpful for our audience. Please.
Thank you, Sergey, for introduction. I'm really glad to share my experience at this event, and I'm grateful for the invitation and the opportunity to share. So, a few words about myself. I work at Uklon company, where I lead the strategic direction, and currently I'm working on the project to build the strategy deployment within the company. That's why today I will focus on one of the component of hoshin and kanri. It is strategy deployment. And to be honest, this approach is really new for us. That's why, yes, as you said, Sergey, I will focus on our experience of the challenges that we faced and insight that we have. Before we diving into our case, I'd like to tell you a bit about the company to give you the better understanding. So Uklon, it is Ukrainian product-based IT company and the developer of ride-hailing service. It's like a taxi. And dedicated team proves this largest infrastructure in the Ukrainian market. A few words about ride-hailing market. Now it is market is deeply connected with innovation and with technology. So over the past few years, this market has seen significant growth. That's why we need this transformation. So Uklon in numbers, it is for 14 years in the market, 2 additional countries. We are presented in 30 cities across Ukraine and outside. And to give you like a sense of scale, over the past 5 years, we and our team has tripled in size and tripled in our financial results. Just like, in the hero's journey, the company must start with asking the main question, why? And this means for us that we perform our strategic planning at strategic session. And during this session, we identify the key metrics, which was crucial for us, and worked with the metrics tree to ensure that we didn't lost something significant. And next, one of the most exciting stage was decomposition, where experts split into small teams in small groups to develop these mini strategies and return with feedbacks. And next came the catchball stage, when we engaged in this discussion, when we debating whether we could achieve the main goal or how to do so. And as a result, we built this budgeting process and laid the foundation for our long-term strategy. For our company, the main question, the crucial question was how we can mix Lean tool and OKR, because these tools are connected in the main goal to identify what truly matters and implement it effectively. And in a sense, both approach focus on improving productivity, ensuring the efforts are aligned with achieving good and great result. On this size, on this slide, you can see the difference between these approaches, but the key takeaways, especially for companies which are already using OKRs, is that these two methods can and should be used together. So there is no trouble in this case. And continuing from the previous slides, I'd like to point that Uklon has a transparent OKR system, and this ensures that everyone in the company understands the goal and can see it transparently. However, the main challenge for us and for our company was that goals were not always accurate or reflective the strategic objectives. That's why we need this alignment, and this alignment process with this strategy deployment, it was like the main request, because we understand that what we do not measure, we really cannot control. And as a company with a data-driven approach, we have approximately amount of information, we have lots of statistics, we have a lot of data to collect. However, the key question is how to structurize this information and determine its priority. So it was crucial for us to identify which metrics are in priority and which are not. So at the company level, we developed a metrics tree and determine like which mini strategy needed to be created to align to these metrics. I also want to share with you some insights that as we reviewed our metrics, we realized that some were no longer relevant, while others had been really dismissed. And for us, as for a service-oriented business, it's very important to measure the NPS of our key stakeholders. And while we pay significant attention for our riders for one side and for our drivers for other side, we had forgotten the one of the main metrics, like fleet, measure the fleet owners' impact. And this process, the strategy decomposition process, highlighted our blind spots. And we, during these periods, understand that we didn't measure very important for our business metrics. That's why it was like a great insight for us.
Oksana, may I interrupt you, because this is a really interesting point here. As I recall, for us, it was really hard to make a one tree, metrics tree for the whole company, how to use it simultaneously, not as a separate activities, separate metrics for separate subdivisions or startups or even business streams. And when we managed to have it in one line, in one tree, it showed so many discrepancies, problems, and actually it already helped when we made this tree with indicators, what should we do and where should we go. And I'm really thankful to your company, to the team, that they were open for these ideas, because previously they wanted to look separately for different areas, and we could have problems with one tree. Thank you. With this was important, and especially with the next slide that you are showing, how it helped us to see simultaneously all the projects, all strategies at the same time.
Yes, thank you, Serhiy. And I want to share with you information about our shared space. It was a really good example where we increase our transparency among the team. And we created a shared space where all teams could not only see your own result of your mini strategy, but also you can see the other one, how to work your colleagues. And this approach really positively impacted in motivation, in reinforced like transparency within the company. And on this slide, you can see like the list of mini strategies which were structured by context. For example, there is a separate mini strategies for ride-hailing at all, like a core business. It is some strategy for HR, the separate metrics for IT, for expansion, and other areas which we need to develop. And as a case,
sorry for once again interruption, but I also wanted to emphasize, for me as a mentor, it was super innovative way of simultaneous working, because the team put all A3s of all strategies of all subdivisions in one area, Miro board, and they gave me access as a mentor, and I could see the progress all the time. I could see what do they change, what do they want to change, and how it is working. And it was really useful. Previously, we were just sharing by emails of our progress, some intermediate presentations, but here you don't need any additional communication. You see everything online, on time. Super idea. And actually, it was the first company in Ukraine that used this logic. And now, Oksana, we are using your approach for all our other clients that we have in Ukraine for hoshin. Thank you for this idea.
Thank you, Serhiy. I hope this instrument, this tool helps you in your future projects. Also, I want to share with you one of our case, and the very important technical metrics for us as for IT company. It is initiative budget conformance. This metrics measures how well we planned our initial budget aligns with actual expenditure. And you know, the primary reason for this like deviation, because you see on this graphic it's like a deviation, which is logically understandable, that maybe the reason that initial thoughts to be incorrect budgeted, like it's incorrect estimation. However, it's not true. We discovered that the issue often lies in changing some requirements for initiatives rather than inaccurate estimation. And it was also like a blind spot for us to understand that the core reason is not the first reason that that in your mind. Also, I would like to share with you a case about our launch in Tashkent, in Uzbekistan. Before applying any analysis, we initially planned to focus on increasing our rider productivity in Tashkent. Like we want to grow in total number of orders, and as a result in share, in the market share. However, we compare our data with the same benchmark in Ukrainian cities, and we understand that the key, like the core reason how we can grow, it was the supply elements. So it was driver elements, and we like it turned out the issue was not in rider performance, but we need to increase our like supplying side of our business. And also I you know, with while the launch of this cascading process for our strategical goals, our budgeting process came significantly simpler and more transparent. I believe that this was because all projects were immediately aligned and approved with the top management. So in our catchball session, we agreed all future projects, and that's why our budgeting process became more simpler and became more transparent. The next key insight is, of course, about our team, because collaboration within the team is a critical component, and not only in strategy deployment process. And the strategy development process involved not only top management in our case, but also employee from different levels of our organization. And this tool helps us to build a clear communication, not only on the high level, not only within the top management, but also with other employees. They understand this like contribution to achieve your objective, and it like the same as motivation, because when you understand the value of your work, it's like you have a greatest employee NPS, and our HR department also confirms this result. Also key insights, and you know, I want to give some recommendation for teams who are looking for these tools, because when introducing a new approach, it's very important to consider the workload on experts. For example, analyzing our, I don't know, financial impact of this project, or looking for other metrics. It is very time-consuming elements, and maybe it was like our fault that we underestimate this workload on our experts. And you know, this is not always a straightforward task to estimate the time which you need to invest in this project. That's why it's like my recommendation to consider the workload on experts. And I believe, Sergey, in your other team also estimate these metrics. At the end, I want to share you with these two maps. I believe that Uklon as a business is very highly adaptive, And we successfully restructure our operation, our business during not only the COVID period, but also stay strong while the full-scale invasion. And on this slide, you see the business metrics during the full-scale war, which are highlighted in red. However, in 1 year, the business managed to recover and achieve strong traction. The team managed not only launch in new countries, but also launch in new classes, for example, volunteer, which helped volunteers move around the city, and evacuation, for example, which assists to transporting people from other cities. That's why I'm not I would not recommend being strictly against for or strictly for these methods, but I suggest you trying new approach to increase your company efficiency. And we view our transformation challenge to this metrics. That's why it's like a good example how to prove that this tool can work and could have a good result for the company. That's it. Thank you for your attention. Maybe you have some questions, Sergey.
Yes, and I highly suggest to use case for asking questions. I have first one. What was the biggest challenge of the project? And I will not be and my mentorship in this
Maybe internet connection is not so good, but I believe I understand your question. So the most challenging aspect was changing this.
I am not with the proper electricity right now. Oksana is back. Oksana,
Yes.
did you hear the question about the challenge or not?
Yes, I hear. Maybe really the internet connection is not so good, but I believe that I hear your question. So the most challenging aspect was changing this, mindset and approach within the team. Implementing lean required everyone to be opened to reassess the process and to understand that you have these blind spots. And thanks to you, we look wider. And another difficulty was managing the, as I said at the last slide, the workload on the experts. It was really high quality work on metrics, and strategy really required significant time and effort.
Mm-hmm. Super. When we are talking about the biggest benefits, I wanted to mention that actually you mentioned the budgeting process. And now when we are discussing the hoshin with some other companies, usually they use and see the benefit of hoshin just for budgeting as a main value, because the budgeting process after the proper hoshin strategy deployment is easier. Did you see this coming, and did you have the same result with the easy budgeting after the hoshin?
Yes, as I said before, it was one of the biggest insights for us. But not only budgeting. It's like this process became more transparent and became more open and understandable. So our financial manager has less pain and more gain. one of the best benefit of focusing on strategy deployment within this lean approach is the ability to align organizational goal within all the project and as a result within the budget across all levels of the company. And this is very important, that this ensures clarity, this ensures accountability, and empowering teams to contribute effectively to achieving strategic objectives while focusing transparency, as I said, and continuous improvement as one of the value for lean.
Super. I also wanted to mention that the key to the success of hoshin in Uklon actually was your activity and your team's activities. And this is really important key, and it's important to understand that you just can't do the strategy deployment without the proper manager for this particular task. Please tell us about your and your team's work during this process. What was your job actually? Were you doing job for others, or were you just managing the teams? How it was working?
Yes, it was not so easy roadmap, but we have it. And as I said, first of all, we organize this synchronizing strategic session where we involved representatives from all levels of the organization. It's very important because it's not only the strategy for on a top level, and this allowed everyone employees to see how their work contributed to the company's objectives, and this increased their motivation. And to improve this inter-department collaboration, we also created this shared space where teams, could see the result of other team, and this also was like a motivation factor to be better. And the main challenge was overcoming initial resistance to change, but I believe that transparent communication helped address this issue.
Super. It's really true. And also maybe one last thing that I wanted to mention, the key to the success of this project in the company was the leadership, because as I understood, please correct me if I'm wrong, there was a strong belief of the general manager of the company that we should do it, and there is no backup plan not to do it, or at some point say, oh, it didn't work. And through his leadership and as we call it, positive pressure, I didn't face problem. Maybe it was because you faced all the resistance, but compared to other companies, it was much quicker. We did hoshin for within 1 month, as I recall. It's a super process. Later on, of course, you were just finishing, but 1 month, and we had a plan.
Yes, it's absolutely true. Top management has this strict direction, so we don't have really backup plan, as you said. And really, this process started when we began when we planned to expand internal lean training with you to improve and to give this understanding for employees' engagement and for deeper understand this methodology. That's why it is like a complex of the reason why we have this success story.
Yes, thank you, Oksana. Thank you guys for listening.
Hi guys.
Thank you, Roberto. We are giving you the stage. Thank you for
we really appreciate you being here. We know it's it's a difficult time, so we really appreciate you guys being here, and thank you very much for a great presentation. Have a wonderful
Thank you.
day.
Bye
Bye.
bye.